Hi, y'all, and welcome to Women of a Particular Age podcast, where we discuss women's views, life lessons, and a little bit of sugar honey iced tea. Y'all, I have missed y'all. Let me tell you what's been going down. Okay, so I have to let you guys know that this past Wednesday to about this weekend, me and my family went out of town for a very special family occasion, and we were out and we were in the ATL. We were in the ATL for a couple of days. And man, was it a beautiful time that we had. Lots of wonderful food, lots of Southern hospitality. Yes, I brought some souvenirs back. The weather was great. It was my second time being out there. I had a wonderful time. But I'm glad that I'm back and I'm glad that I'm speaking with you guys. Oh, wow. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful Memorial Day because I'm loving just being off and being back in Cali. So, listen, before we get started, please like, share, and subscribe. JollyStudios at gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com. So, before we get started, let me start the intro, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about it. What's going on? What's going on? Man, you guys just do not know. I had so much fun in the ATL, but listen, I am really glad to be back for sure, for sure, for sure. Okay. So listen, I wanted to come on here and talk with you guys. Of course, I always have something to talk with you about, but there's all these things that you know, that I come up with in my head or I'm thinking about, and sometimes I just would like to share them. So these last couple of days have been they've been a wonderful past couple of days. Okay. So listen, before we get started, what do we do? I always get my little mug out and look at my mug, y'all. Look at that ATL mug. Mm-hmm. Almost forgot about that. A little t-shirt, my mug. Okay. All right. So y'all, let me tell you something. You know, when I wake up in the morning, some of the first things that I do is that I make sure to pray. I make sure to read my Bible because I want to make sure that I'm moving forward in the day with positive thoughts and good intentions. And then I'm going to tell you, after that, most of the time, my days are wonderful. Most of the time. I would say most of the time. But I think the question is, what about those days when you do all of that and sin creeps in? That's the question. So for me, when I sin, for me, I get really like weird because I want to stay connected to God at all times. And then I get that weird feeling of disconnect, like I did wrong. And I know that I'm not supposed to have it, but sometimes I have a little bit of condemnation. I'll go through all that. Like I pray, oh God, I'm so sorry. And then you know what? But what ends up happening is I get right back in the word. I go to church and then I get right back in line. That's the one thing. Never stop going to church because God does not want you to forsake yourself from being around others. So please make sure you're going to church. Please make sure you do that. Whatever you're doing, make sure you're around others because we are all sinners and we're trying to get it right. But I can tell you something. Even though with all that, I always remember John 3:16 and that Jesus died on the cross for me to pay my debts, my sin with his blood. And I know that he knew that I wasn't going to get it right all the time. So I just make sure that I try to understand that there are certain things that I have to continue to do to make sure that I stay within his grace, which is make sure my discipleship, which is making sure I'm reading my Bible, making sure I'm praying without ceasing, making sure I'm staying positive, and making sure I'm sharing the word with others. But I think one of the most important parts also as well is being aware of your habits and your triggers. Okay? Always be aware of your habits and your triggers because we those are the things that get us caught up into sin. And sometimes, what we'll do. Sometimes either we'll keep doing the same things over and over again. And come on, y'all, we know what that is, so we're not even gonna touch that. Or those unintentional sins where you've ever like been trying to do right and you right smack dab in the middle of some sin. You're like, wow, how did I get here? I know, I know. But please know, in this life, we will sin again. Okay, we will sin again. Okay, that will just happen. Okay, it's gonna happen. Okay, but what I've noticed is over time, when my mother was alive, watching her, I always noticed that her walk got a little bit better. So I don't think it's about the sinning again. I think it's about getting better in the walk. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I'm so glad to be back on here with y'all. I've really felt disconnected with y'all. I hadn't been on here in a little bit. But listen, before you guys leave, please like, share, and subscribe. JollyStudios at gmail.com, www.jollystudios.com. Thank you so much. I'll talk with you soon. Be blessed and have a great rest of the day.